You may not know it, but you don't really want to have learned your favorite character's backstory. Did that sound awkward? In fact, it was carefully worded. From where you stand now, intrigued and maybe even consumed with curiosity about the origins of Lord Shadow and how he ended up with that one strange opal eye, you do indeed want to know all about him. But you don't want to have learned it, because then you'll be on the other side of the veil in the land of sure knowledge, and all those delectable secrets will lie revealed. Little by little, everything that made Lord Shadow interesting will begin to lose its allure, and you will start looking for a new character, one whose secrets and history you don't know. I firmly believe that, deep down, neither of us really wants to live with the knowledge of what school he attended or all the banal details of Lord Shadow's childhood. We certainly don't want it all summed up in a single sequence of incidents. This is because it's mystery that creates curiosity. It's mystery that creates craving. It's the difference between wanting to eat a whole pizza and having eaten a whole pizza, or wanting to kiss someone and having kissed her, or wanting to buy that latest gizmo and having that gizmo on your shelf. It's the difference between the weeks before Christmas and the day after. Some things are better in the anticipation, but unlike Christmas and pizza, in good fiction we can still enjoy our cake even after we've eaten it, at least in part. When you finally read the book that features Lord Shadow or see the movie, you've enjoyed experiencing getting to know him a bit. You've seen what he can do, and the questions proliferate in your mind like tadpoles in a pond. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that we can't learn some interesting details about a Doctor Doom or a Voldemort. A sprinkling of the right details can greatly enhance our interest and enjoyment of such a character the way a few grains of salt can improve the flavor of a ripe tomato. But too many details will destroy the effect that tantalizes us and imbues the character with interest. This is especially true of villains, but I think even our MCs and their close associates can benefit from this. Watson may seem like a boring, witless support for Sherlock Holmes, but what happens if it's hinted at that he once killed a man in India? This idea was exploited with some success in the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. For the first season or two, Giles, Buffy's mentor and watcher, was portrayed as being a stuffy stay-at-home bookworm and tweed who had little existence outside the narrow boundaries of his supporting role. But over time we discover a few of Giles's secrets and learn that he'd once had a darker side. This worked well for the most part because the writers never exposed too much of his backstory. The mere suggestion was enough to turn a character who was likable but a bit flat into one with an intriguing and lurid past and unknown dimensions. The truth is, the more you know about a character's backstory, the more boring he or she usually becomes. This was brought home to me years ago when I saw Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The opening of that movie is a fleshing out of Indiana Jones's backstory, how he got his hat, how he got his whip, how he became interested in archaeology, how he got that scar on his chin. And though I watched it all eagerly, afterwards I was left feeling acutely disappointed. It's like when you meet an interesting stranger in real life. That person may have an unusual ring or way of speaking or style of dress, and you don't know why she's the way she is. And that very fact of not knowing is what inspires interest. A mystery is always intriguing. The answer to the mystery may be interesting too. But that spell of intrigue and wondering can never be cast again once you know the answers. So don't be too quick to unravel all the secrets of your characters. Let the reader get to know them slowly, piece by piece, and don't be afraid to keep a few things back for later, or even never. This is a powerful tool for creating a mystique, a cloud of curiosity around a character. That was the secret of Darth Vader in the first 2 Star Wars films. He was the embodiment of the sinister unknown. And in the succeeding films and prequels, George Lucas methodically and ruthlessly dismantled, diluted and degraded the very thing that captured our imagination about Vader. All has been revealed and all is banal, boring and supremely disappointing. Now he is a known quantity. I can think of one partial exception to this rule. I say partial because I think the character has still suffered irreparable damage to his reputation and mystique, but I thought the backstory the author himself provided was at least interesting. I'm talking about the case of Hannibal Lecter. The prequel book, Hannibal Rising, was very good. It still dispelled some of the mystery surrounding the character, but it was done in such an artful and surprising way that I enjoyed it despite my prejudice against backstories. Nevertheless, it unraveled too much of the mystery for me. And so, in order to preserve what I loved, I privately exclude everything from the Hannibal Lecter canon except Red Dragon, The Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal. though I'll never again enjoy the spine-tingling thrill of meeting Hannibal Lecter for the first time and wondering what made him and what strange desires fueled his terrible machinations. I can at least retain in my private preserve a sense that all the clumsy mishandlings of the character were mere gossip and that Lecter's true core, his wicked well of essence, remains unknowable and inviolate. And if you like a book with loads of intriguing characters, read The Night Whisper by Ornella Gray. It's available at Amazon.com. There's a link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy writing.